Hello, welcome to the collector on YouTube. So, as I promised, I'm going to do a video on kind of tweaking some of the mostly free upgraded SCX24 Jeep. You've seen the last videos, what I've done with the lifts, the the brass diff cubs. Obviously, that was a purchase item. The wheel weights that I did for using the pellets, and just moving some things around, and kind of just tweaking it to get it comparable to the store-bought upgraded SCX24 Jeep. So we weighed it with ounces, or using ounces. The Jeep was about a 3 1/4 more in weight as far as ounces. So we need to apply more grams to this to get it to be at least as comparison and equal to what it's crawling. If you saw the last video, which is the tug off, it was our way of kind of just showing the upgrades and the benefits of the upgrades as far as pulling power, climbing over rocks, and that kind of stuff. So you could see that the Jeep overpowered the free upgrade, mostly free upgraded Jeep, which should be expected, but we can do more. So what you'll see, I already took some screws off using my magnet, and I apologize. I will use the word a lot, and I've been trying to not do that a lot, but I think that's my comfort word. So we're gonna a few things here I want to show real quick. This was a small little gargoyle. It had wings. It's my hood ornament, and during one of the rides, the wings broke off. It has fallen numerous times. The adhesive is amazing, and it holds up pretty good. So the wings broke off. I'm going to cut off this little part here, kind of tweak it, and it will now become a monkey. Get into focus there. Already kind of looks like one, right? With that tail and everything. So that will be my hood ornament. Some of the things I did. So I already took the screws off here. We'll move that to the side. You'll see that I've done some already mods or modifications. We got the barrage motor in here. I got impatient, didn't want to wait for the other motor. It's taking forever, it's hard to find. And this worked out great. You do have to drill a new hole for the gears, to get your gearing correct in there. I moved the ESC to the back. It fits right inside the rails there, or the chassis there. You'll see that I have hot glue for now, but that's just because I haven't permanently mounted yet. I'll end up using screws to kind of tighten it in there. The issue I'm having now is I got to figure out where I'm going to put my battery. I removed the battery tray, so I could go do the ESC, and now I just need to come up with something for how I'm going to display the battery. Right now it just sits right in here. It just slides perfectly in there. But it's too high, too much weight to the front, and so when you're climbing over, as you know, when you have too much weight to the front, or too high, you're either going to roll right when you come over, or when you come over a rock, it actually pulls you down on the rock, and you don't want that. And so that's one of the things we got to tweak and come up with. I do have a 5/32 aluminum tubing here. The actual numbers are 3.97 millimeters by 0.355 millimeters. And I'm gonna cut this, and I need more of a slide when I'm going over rocks, because I bottom out a lot on my diffs here, and I want to. One of the things I kind of want to maybe bring up to you guys is that I've been working on and trying to come up with a way to make a skid plate kind of a system here, so that I'm actually sliding or gliding over the rocks instead of jamming it up on all sorts of different things, especially when you have a rock with a point in it. Sometimes you just can't get around that, right? So if you have an idea or a recommendation, or if you come up with something, and let us know in the comments what your idea is, and we'll try it out. And if it works, we'll let the world know, right? Because that's kind of what YouTube's for. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna cut these, and I'm actually going to apply them to here. We're gonna do that on both sides. They'll obviously be cut and then fitted on, and then I'll probably end up painting them as well. I'll probably do black. Not sure yet, because I kind of want to keep going with this yellow trim that I left here, but I haven't really figured out where to apply the yellow besides obviously the gold. But that's color coordinating, right? So that's what I'm gonna do with this. you'll see with the other upgraded videos, especially with the 2 of 2 video when we did the mods and or the upgrades and modifications with the store-bought items. The one of the things that you've noticed of that, then the bottom of his, he had plates down here that you can get 3D printed. He also had the bars you can get 3D printed. It does work. It has shown to slide over things a little bit better, especially when you're having those kind of grooves when you bottom out. That gives you that get over that edge, you know. But I wanted to do a little bit more, especially with, I'm scratching the crap out of my body, which is fine, because if it ain't broken, you're not playing with it, right? So, which I break, we break stuff all the time. So I just wanted to give a little bit more, and for looks, it's kind of, you know, but you can see some pretty gnarly scratches there. But for looks, it'll look good too. So I already, like I said, removed some of the screws already, so you didn't have to sit there and watch me do all that. I'm going to do some more, and I'll kind of speed that up so you don't have to deal with that. And then when we get to the important parts, I will stop and we'll discuss it. One thing I want to get out there real quick, want to thank all of the new subscribers that we've gotten in the last couple of weeks. You guys rock. All the views, all the thumbs up, or the likes, you guys all rock, all of you. We're primarily mostly informational when it comes to RC, and right now we are obviously focusing on the SCX24s because that's the popular RC right now, and I absolutely love this thing, and they keep getting better and better the more stuff we do to them. And we have we have 3 of us that are in a group here. We have quite a bit of a collection, and that's where we're going right now. We pretty much, with our channel, we want to do 3 videos a week, 1 video on the weekend. We're going to apply some games, and as we grow, one of our ideas that we discussed is that we want to make sure, so the first 100 subscribers that we get, you will forever be put in a permanent giveaway kind of a thing we're going to do, just because you guys are the first, right? So I mean, got to do something cool for you guys, and we want to get to growing. You know, we're not looking for money here. We're not doing any of that. We just want to get information out in the world, and that's always been our goal. We've been doing the RC stuff for RC, just outdoor hobbies alone. RC, airsoft, pellet guns, RC boats, fishing. We do everything. So we've tried to come up with something that will give us the most information online, and encourage young people to get out there and play in these hobbies, especially kind of relating towards the STEM area, because I'm a huge supporter of STEM program. I was just a quick little thing. I was part of the first class in the West Coast that graduated on the beginning of the STEM program, which I'm older than you think. The STEM's been around for a while. So anyways, that's kind of where we're going with our thing. We push and motivate outdoor hobbies, any and all, specifically robotics and engineering, physics, and all of RC applies to all of that. And you have an opportunity we have an opportunity as adults, especially with the younger generation coming out, that we can, you know, we have the opportunity to have fun. You know, you're buying these for your kids, you know, or, I mean, they're great for all ages, but you're buying these for your kids. We'll take the opportunity to teach them some physics, engineering, and some robotics. And it's simple. They're going to do it while having fun. So get a bit of education while playing, and that's the best way of teaching. So, yeah, that's just a little bit of, you know, little thing here I wanted to get out there. And then, so yeah, let's go ahead and start working on this thing and see what we can do. And yeah. All right, so kind of sped through some of the stuff. I tested a couple things out. What I came up with so far, obviously my shocks here are mounted. I haven't put a way to hold the battery yet, but I think I may have figured out something. I removed the supports, where the body supports that were in the body mounts, I guess, in the back. I don't know if you can see that there. So I removed those and I put them up in the front, which got rid of the whole ESC thing. It should work with the body. It is in the right spot. Obviously I had to drill holes for these, but now these can be screwed in. I don't have to either find a nut or glue them like I had temporarily. So that fixed that problem, and I'm gonna pretty much do the same thing here in the back. I think I'm gonna, I may cut this up, which I really don't want to have to cut anything as far as the car, but I think I've already gone too far. So the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up either I'm just gonna cut and either save just this and get rid of the whole platform, because the platform I can always replace later in life if I ever need to, or I'm just gonna, I may just use a nut and just put them in here to hold the the shocks up. You can see what I did underneath here. I'm gonna take these off. I went ahead and came up with, got 2 wires that are actually for my support that's in here, and now this is completely, that I don't have to do anything. It's pinching it in there. I mean, I may do a little bit of more just to make sure in case it drops, it won't fall out, but I don't think that's going to be going anywhere. Especially when I come up with this, because I think what I'm going to do is if I end up saving this part of the mount, I may use that as a support to hold this down. But I'm going to continue to keep going with it. The next thing I need to figure out too is how am I going to apply more grams. Some people, they put weight right over their diff. I don't do that. Just, I mean, you could, to each their own. If you like it, whatever, that's fine. It interferes with things. You can see right now that if I did that in the front, well, I can't. I just, look at that. I can't. My servo sits right on top of that. So that's not going to happen there. And so I'm not going to do the same. I'm not going to do the back either, because I don't want the weight. I do want a little bit more weight in the back, but it needs to be a little more even distributed. So I need to come up with something else. Got to come up with some other way of applying weight. I don't like adding just weight. You know what I mean? I want something that's going to add to my performance, but give me the weight at the same time without having to spend money. So, and granted, these are things you're going to find in your garage. You probably see tons of modification and crap that all over YouTube of people doing stuff with these where they're like, just like in this case, I happen to have a plethora of mini servos, so because I'm in robotics, so I have those. To me, that's free. I mean, I'd never had to purchase those. Well, that's not true. I purchased one, and then the other ones came as gifts. But the other things too is that, you know, obviously the breast diffs, when we say free upgrades, really it's what you have at home that you could use that are mimicking the items that you would buy. So doing the pellets, you know, if you have a BB gun, you have pellets. Well, there's your weighted wheels right there. Just know that what you're applying, you know, your pellets have weights. So do some math and figure out what you're applying to it and kind of keep it even. Unless you like that weight, you could add a little bit more towards the front. But as far as that, it's just minor things. You know, the mods is everything that you're taking from the vehicle and modifying it, or making something work to modify, or modifying it to work inside the vehicle. So those are your modifications. The upgrades are things that give it the upgraded performance, things that will make it perform better than it did out of the box. So you got to understand those differences as well. So a lot of this stuff is just right now mods, but the benefit of why you can consider it upgrade is because you're putting the weight lower. That's a performance upgrade. And if you get a bigger motor, if you get bigger tires, whatever, those are upgrades. The mods are how you modify what you have to get it to make it work, right? So I think most people are pretty much on the same page as that. Just know that's mods and upgrades are two different things. But they can work together. They do work together. So I'm going to continue. We'll mess with this. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, you should hit that like button. We really appreciate it. And like I said before, you know, the first 100 subscribers will be forever put into a permanent contest, raffle kind of a drawing thing. We are going to start doing some things here soon, and in the summer we're going to kick off, I think every week we're going to do some kind of a contest. It could be anything from getting a t-shirt to stickers to maybe even eventually an RC car. And we want to share, you know, how we're growing with this channel. We want to share that with you guys. So everything that goes into this channel is going to go back to you guys 100%. So that's the way we're doing things. Yeah, so let's continue to keep going. Okay, so sorry about the jumping around, which I will hopefully edit most of that stuff out. So I've made a little mistake. So it's experimenting. So when I installed the body mounts that were actually originally in the back, and I went ahead and got rid of this, and you can see I did cut off a piece there. I had to reverse these. They were the wrong way. The body mount was actually too far forward. So that's the only thing really different I did. I did go ahead and just cut the plastic pieces that I needed. Just kind of put, I don't know if you can see that, put these in. I'll do something later with those. I just don't have the nuts small enough to fit in there right now. And I have no use for that. Or I guess I could try to come up with some way of making this lower for my battery. But as you can see, when we take the battery here, so originally I had it kind of tucked up, hidden inside this thing here, which obviously that's not going to work anymore. So what I want to do is I want to get the battery down here in a way where it's not interfering. I don't want it to hit. Another possible option is obviously doing the side mount. The only thing I don't like about that is that I've got all these wires, so I'm going to have to like finagle my wires and stuff every time it will hook up. It's not quite far enough, as you can see. So that won't work. So I got to come up with some way of mounting that in there. And again, like I said, I could cut and manipulate my original battery mount and maybe come up with something different than this. The body mount itself is kind of a pain. I may end up getting rid of the whole mounting thing they're doing here and come up with something my own that's a little bit better, easier for what I want to do. But so far, that's what I did. I think we're going to go ahead and do this as a two-parter because this video is going to be pretty long. There's a lot more stuff I want to do. I also have, I didn't even mention in the beginning, if you notice, I don't have any lights in my car. Obviously moving the ESC in the back, I had to design a wire harness for my lights. I also wanted to switch out the white LEDs with some blue LEDs. I've got, if you want to know what I use for my LEDs, I just go from, the Co-Road kit. Comes with multiple different colors. You can actually see in here, and it kind of gives you a little bit of so you get the 5 volts and you got the 3 volts. You get 20 pieces of the larger LEDs, and then you get 40 pieces of the smaller LEDs. And obviously we're going to go with the smaller 3 volt LEDs, not to draw too much power. And plus, you can run the 6 volt, but it just won't fit in there. So obviously it's already done. I went ahead and drilled out the holes, and I kind of tweak it a little bit for the front here. Yeah, I know they're not 100% straight, and the reason why. So these are actually rounded, right? If you can kind of see it in the. So when we went to go mark the spots and went to drill, it slid down. It was already too late. It was just too late. So what I might do is I could go with the big LEDs and just put the bigger mounts that I have somewhere in here that I can show you if I can find one. So I do have the larger mounts for the LEDs, and I may end up just go ahead and just putting a full size LED in there. It'll take up the whole space, and it'll look a lot better. But I got to make a wiring harness, and I design all my own harness stuff, unless it's already attached, like the servo, which I may eventually end up getting rid of that too, making it shorter, because that's just a long servo wire. Originally, we were going to design a what do you call it? We were going to make a rock crawler about this size, and it was going to have a system where each wheel had its own servo, its own motor, basically a servo. And because you can program any and all servos, yes, I said it, any and all servos. If you know anything about robotics, you'll know that every servo you can do what you want. If I want to turn half a rotation, then go back a rotation, well, I'll set it up. I have an Arduino, and I'll just do it through that. Show you a little bit of, it's kind of some of the setups I use. This is obviously a double layered. That's not it. Totally different project. This actually comes off, and then you have your Arduino down here. This is just a setup that I was using for my robotics right now. But so that's what I'm gonna do is I'll end up connecting the servos up. I'll set them up. I'll test them. I'll run them. I can do anything I want with them. If I want that servo to be faster, I can make it faster. If I want to make it slower, make it slower. They're all you can manipulate any one of them. Doesn't matter what they are. They're all programmable. because they all come with set programs. So they're made. If they're not, they just do the normal. You get power and it's just going to spin a certain speed. You can adjust that by your clicks, and if you're a robotics guy, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end this one where we're at right now with what we've done. I know it's not a whole lot, and some of us kind of talk through fast, mostly just talking really. But I kind of just want to give you an idea of what we're going with this. Again, if you have an idea to do the skid plate in the front, we'll do that. I will go ahead and I'll speed through it, but I'm still going to go ahead and on this video, I'll mount this to the body so you can at least see what this looks like. And then that way I can get some test runs out of it and see how I like what's being set up. Again, I'll figure out what's going on with the battery in the next video. Yeah, so thanks for watching. And if you continue to keep following us, do so. We'll make sure to provide you information or entertainment as much as we can. And like I said before, we appreciate everybody that's jumping on this bandwagon with us. Again, we're staying with the SCX24s by Axial because that's kind of the popular thing right now. There's so many 110 scale stuff going. We want to do a fresh build. We're going to do a fresh build with you guys, and then we're going to let you guys kind of help us decide how we're going to build it. That's kind of the next plan for the 110 when we do 110 videos. We also have an upgraded video we're going to do eventually with my granite. I got the lower end granite, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade that to a 3S lipo instead of the 2S lipo. And then yeah, we have more RC stuff. One of the things I want to mention real quick, I kind of want to show you, because I'm not going to do a whole lot of videos on this because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are really in, unless you're a Subaru person. But I wanted to show something. In the other videos we've done, you've seen the Subaru, and you can see that I have played with it a lot since those videos. I have pretty extensive frontal body damage. In fact, yeah, it's pretty bad. Not horrible, it's still there, but I did lose some pieces. Got a hole right there. Oh, sorry, I'm not getting on the film. I did break one of the support for the foam in the front, and you can see that my tires have no tread. They're gone. The tread is gone. This is what happens when you're playing on concrete. But these are a blast. They're not your typical drifting car that you get that just drives sideways. This thing goes 22 miles an hour. It's supposed to go 30. And with proper gearing, maybe go a little bit faster, but it will drift. It will. They're amazing. So anyway, well, I'm not. You should look into these things. They're cool. They're awesome. It's an awesome car. Especially, I mean, that one you won't be able to get. You might be able. They still might be able to find them. That specific one, especially if you're a Pacific Northwest Subaru fan, because that car is exclusive to this area because of the decals. That's it. You can buy the car. They're like $195. We didn't have to pay quite as much because we got it right out of the beginning. We've been waiting for these suckers. I'm not even a huge Subaru fan, but I love the STIs. I love the WRX. I love those cars, so that's why I went with that one. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and I'll go ahead and speed through the next process here, what I'm going to do, and then we'll end the video there, and then we'll go for part 2 with more things or other ideas that we're going to go ahead and do. We want to get this thing to either be better or at least equal to the store-bought upgrades, and that's kind of the goal here for me and hopefully for a lot of you that are watching. All right.